Hey guys, this is No Solution. I'm Scott, and we're going to continue diving into the dumpster that is my collection with more Dwell Records tributes. This time I picked out four that are more regular rock, kind of mainstream bands, because most of these are strictly heavy metal bands. And so these are mostly metal bands covering non metal songs. So I thought that would be an interesting little topic. Um, so that'll be a bit later. First, I haven't been talking about Bob Dylan since I got turned on to him by Steve at All the World's a Stage. Um, but I have still been listening, and I just wanted to bring up this album, the soundtrack to Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, Sam Peckinpah movie that I don't think I even knew existed. I don't think it was thought of very highly, and I couldn't find it to watch. But similarly, the album, it seems like, isn't thought of very highly and not really talked about too much. But I found it cheap, and it's got "Knocking on Heaven's Door" on it, the original version. So I thought I'd pick it up. I think this is great, man. I mean, it's a soundtrack, so it's a lot of instrumental pieces. Obviously, based on it being a Western, it's very kind of Western themed music. Um, there's a song called Billy. Well, there's Billy, the main title theme, which is instrumental. Then there's Billy 1, Billy 4, and Billy 7, just kind of different versions of the same song or variations on it. And then Knocking on Heaven's Door, which I had no idea was like a 2.5 minute song. It's not the epic that Guns N' Roses made it into, but yeah, I'm very, very happy with my purchase with this. Another fun Bob Dylan album to listen to. All right, and now I'm gonna simp out for one of my favorite female vocalists, Amanda Somerville. She'll probably be in the thumbnail, so the thumbnail actually might connect to the video this time. I became aware of her with her work with Avantasia, which is Tobias Sammet's kind of epic metal project full of guest vocalists and guest musicians and whatnot. And she contributed a lot to more of the earlier albums. She's a vocal coach and does a lot of backing vocals on things. I think she has a metal band now with her husband that I heard a little bit of. Wasn't that crazy about it, but I picked this up recently. I'd known about for a while, but hadn't found it for a decent price. Kiska Somerville, Michael Kiska from Halloween fame, and Amanda doing duets and whatnot. The music on this is written by Matt Sinner and Magnus Carlson, I believe his name is. Yeah, Magnus Carlson, both from Primal Fear. So it's pretty much a basic rock album. They do get, a little heavy at times, but don't expect a real heavy metal album. It's really focused on the two voices, and they both have awesome voices. So this is a really fun one to listen to. They put out a second album that I was coming in the mail. I haven't heard it yet, but good times. And then I found this one on eBay. Amanda Somerville solo album called Windows. And this one had seemed kind of hard to get, but it just popped up on eBay super cheap, and I was able to snag it. So this is not really metal at all. Just keep showing pictures of my sweetheart. This one is... The instrumentation is mostly done by Sascha Paeth, the German musician and producer, who also is really involved in Avantasia, and he had his own band that Ludicra, I think it was called. There's a cover of one of those songs on here. So this varies from just kind of pop rock to ballads to there's like a Torch song on here where you can imagine her in an evening gown draped across the piano singing it. Very like old fashioned kind of song. Sometimes I believe that is the one. But yeah, I'm very happy I picked this up. This is not metal at all, so if you're looking for metal, stay away. But if you're into like some female singer songwriter type pop, there's like some trip hop influences too here and there, but just kind of a basic pop rock album. Amanda Somerville, Windows. I'm very happy to have this, and yeah. So let's get into those terrible tribute albums. So there's kind of a theme with these. we'll start with the Kiss one. Kiss of Death, a sick tribute to Kiss. So these are mostly metal bands covering non-metal songs. So the basic template is like they're down-tuned, more distortion, and then the vocals are usually like death metal or a thrash kind of shout or some kind of extreme vocal, not a traditional clean vocal. So the Kiss one we've got. Let's see. Let's run down any notables. From the Depths, they're a cool band from Ohio that has a lot of people from the Cleveland scene in it. Not active anymore. Acheron, Equinox from Florida. That's kind of it as far as notables. There's a lot of the usual suspects on here. Scary German Guy pops up again. Hate Theory, Hostile Intent. They all did a ton of these. So if super metalized versions of Kiss songs sound cool to you, you might enjoy this. As far as highlights, Hate Theory does Going Blind, kind of a weird song to cover, like not one of the 10 Kiss songs you really think of right away. They do like a kind of a Death Doom version of it, which is interesting. It's almost unrecognizable from the original. And Equinox in Florida does The Oath, like a death metal version of The Oath from The Elder, which I thought was cool. So I always think it's cool when they pick like not the most obvious songs. I mean, obviously you've got all the other obvious ones: Deuce, Strutter, Cold Gin, I Love It Loud, Detroit Rock City are all represented. But yeah, it's kind of fun. All right, we'll go to AC/DC. For those about to rot. Tribute to AC/DC. So let's see. Anyone we gotta bring up on here? I mean, a lot of the usual suspects on here. Kind of all the songs you're gonna think of when you think of AC/DC. No real deep cuts on here. But again, down-tune metal covers of AC/DC songs with extreme vocals, which really AC/DC songs really do translate well to like mid-pace kind of death metal. As 6 Feet Under proved, as they covered the entire Back in Black album, as well as some other songs. But they're not on here. They're too big a name to be on here. Checking out my notes here. Necrology does a cover of You Shook Me All Night Long. That's like super fast, like almost a grindcore version, which is kind of interesting to hear. The one standout on here that I would say is Vladimir's. If you don't know Vladimir's, they're a Cincinnati band, I believe. They're a project of Ash Thomas, of a million projects. Shed the Skin and Faith Extractor, probably the two most well-known. And this is a band he does with his brother. They haven't done anything in a long time. They might not be active anymore. But yeah, just a great band, and kind of in the horror punk vein. Misfits influence, obviously. But they do stretch out and do like longer kind of epic type songs too. They're just kind of a really unique band that I really like. And it's been so long since I dug these out. I didn't even remember Vladimir's were on here because I don't think I even knew who they were then. I've only kind of discovered them in like the last 10, 15 years. And it may have been that long since I've heard these. But Vladimir's do a cover of If You Want Blood, You Got It in kind of the horror punk style. And it's great. So I was glad to dig these out and find some rarities that I already had in my collection from a band I really like. Kind of sad that I didn't know about that or didn't remember. All right, we'll do the Rush one. Red Star, tribute to Rush. So again, same kind of motif. This one has a bit more faithful covers, more trying to sound like Rush, which I mean is cool, I guess. But I mean, why wouldn't I just listen to Rush then? You know what I mean? Unless it's like a band you really like doing it, it's kind of not going to do a whole lot for you. Again, we got all the greatest hits of Dwell Records on here: Hostile Intent, Hate Theory, Scary German Guy, Blood Coven, Prototype. Any highlights? The death metal cover of Subdivisions by Hostile Intent is pretty fun. There's a version of Tears by Capital 2, who I think never did anything besides this. It's more of an electric version of the song, but not really metalized at all. Still clean vocals and everything, but very well done. I did enjoy that. The ending is covers of Free Will, Red Barchetta, and Spirit of Radio. They're all really faithful. Neat, but nothing it's gonna blow your socks off or anything. So, I mean, again, I think all these are on Discogs for like $2. So, if any of them sound interesting, you can check them out pretty easily. And then the last one I picked out was Dead Zeppelin, a metal tribute to Led Zeppelin. Right. So on here, kind of the same deal. And I'm just repeating myself, but there are a few more faithful type covers on here as opposed to like the transformed versions. But it's kind of a decent mix. They're of varying quality, obviously. Kashmir, the cover of Kashmir by some band called Silent Streams of Godless Elegy, which I think I've heard of, but have never heard an actual album. It's interesting. There's not very good female clean vocals on it, and then when you get to the chorus, like a death metal male vocalist comes in. I don't know. I feel like it was a cool idea, but kind of a swing and a miss on that one. Immigrant Song by Anno Demonicus uses like female choirs and black metal vocals, and then like kind of like a Viking, Viking male choir going on too. It was kind of cool, kind of interesting. Let's see. I really enjoyed Doxa Meaden's cover of Living Loving Maid, and Vladimir's are on here again. And they do a really cool version of In the Light. It's pretty faithful, but they definitely go into their style a bit on it. And Marquis Thomas, the singer, does his like evil Elvis kind of horror punk vocals on it in certain parts, which is fun. So yeah, again, Vladimir's is the highlight on this one. There's really no other bands of note to even bring up, but that is the Dead Zeppelin tribute. Yeah, so as you can see, I was kind of running out of things to say about these. So this might be the last installment. I mean, if you guys want me to show more of them, I can. I've got way too many, but I'll probably keep listening to them just because it's kind of fun. But I don't know if this really warrants a long video series. So yeah, that's it. We got some tribute albums. Still listening to Bob Dylan, and Amanda Somerville is my new girlfriend. And I guess that's all. So thanks, guys, for watching. I always appreciate anybody who watches or comments or anything. I can't believe anyone would, but I'm appreciative that you do. So thank you. And as always, CM Punk is a piss baby. Later.